let's make breadsticks to go with our spaghetti tonight. In my measuring cup, I have 2 cups of very warm water from the tap. I'm gonna add 4.5 teaspoons, or the equivalent to 2 packets of instant rise yeast. To that, needs a little sugar. You gotta feed your yeast. So I'm gonna put, it'll be about probably a teaspoon. I'm gonna give it a little stir. I'll just use this. And I'm gonna let it sit here for about 5 minutes until it gets nice and foamy on the top. That's how I know my yeast is alive and well. While that is doing its thing, we're gonna take a bowl and we're gonna put to 2 cups of water. I'm gonna start it with about 3 cups of flour, knowing it may end up being about 4. But I'm gonna start with 3. And to this flour, I'm gonna add my salt. Sometimes I go ahead and put my salt in my yeast water, but some of you don't like when I do that. You're like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. I'm like, I do it all the time. But we'll do it your way. We'll do it your way. I aim to please. I'm gonna put about half to a full teaspoon of salt. That's plenty of salt. And then we're just gonna let this yeast bubble for about 5 minutes. All right, now that my yeast is all foamy on the top, can you see that? That lets me know that yeast is alive and well and ready to rise. So I'm gonna add an egg to this. It's always a risk to crack your egg over your bowl. You shouldn't do that. My mom used to say, do as I say, not as I do. That would be an incidence of that. And I have a couple of tablespoons of melted butter. Put it right in here so that warm butter doesn't cook my egg. I'm gonna give this a stir and go ahead and just pour it in. All right. Do you love the smell of yeast? I don't know why. That's one of my favorite smells in the kitchen. It is. You can use a stand mixer or a hand mixer for this. I like to use my hands. I like to get in here with the bread. It's one of my favorite things to do in the kitchen. Now this is definitely gonna need more flour. You want a soft dough, but you don't want a batter, right? And this is sort of a batter right now. So let me get another cup of flour. That will make about 4 cups so far. And we'll see how this does. We'll turn it out. I like it to where it just gets a little bit shaggy, if that makes sense. Where it looks a little shaggy. And then get it out and knead the dough for about 5 minutes. Yep, that looks pretty good. Let me move this out of the way. And I'm gonna put it right out here onto my pastry mat. And we were gonna just knead this right up with our hands. And like I say, if you wanna use a mixer, you can. You can knead it for about 5 minutes and walk away and do other things. But I don't know, there's something about this that I enjoy, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get some of this left behind goodness out of the bowl, because I'm gonna use this same bowl without washing it. I'm gonna put a little oil in it, and we're gonna put it back in here to let it rise for an hour till it's double in size. I'm also gonna take my wedding rings off because they'll get a little messy if I don't. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's a little soft. It needs some love. It needs some more flour. For sure. Here we go. And I'm just gonna knead this for about 5 minutes. I want it to stay a soft dough, but not this soft. And instead of you watching me do this for 5 minutes, I'm gonna see if my son will come over here and turn off the record button because I'm sticky. Nathan, do you wanna stop the record for me, please? While I'm kneading this dough, thank you. And we'll just keep kneading. Okay, I have been kneading this dough for about 5 minutes. I ended up adding about another 1.5 cups, so about 4.5 cups of flour. Humidity, your flour, there's so many things that matter. But this is a beautiful dough now. It's moderately soft, pliable, bounces right back. The gluten is activated. We'll add some oil to our pan, and I'm gonna put it in an oven that is just got the light on. That gives it a little increased temperature for about an hour till it's double in size, and then we'll form our bread sticks. It's been an hour. I think it doubled in size. I think I could have got in here a little sooner. There we go. Let's just put that right down. Here's little puppy following me. You hear her little puppy toes? Click, clack, click, clack. There she is. I'm going to put just a tiny little bit of flour out here because this dough is a little bit soft. Not much, just a teeny bit. And I'm going to dump this right on out of this bowl. Oh, it's so perfect. It's a little sticky yet. Okay. Now, tool of choice when I'm doing anything with bread. There we go. Now, I am just going to shape my breadsticks. It's going to be super easy. I've got some pans here that I've already put parchment paper on. I don't know for sure how many I'm going to need. So I'm going to take it right here, and I'm going to cut this in. I'm going to brush these with garlic butter, and then this tray only, I'm going to put some rosemary garlic seasoning on. I'm really playing with fire here. I've got it sitting on top of a very narrow jar, bringing it up so you could see it a little better. And I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven while I brush the other pan with the garlic butter. The breadsticks just came out of the oven. These are the ones that I put the garlic on. The rosemary garlic. I'm gonna put a little bit of the butter on top of it. Look at that. Perfection. Soft. Oh my goodness, yes. I'm going to put a little garlic butter on all of them. I've got 3 pans in the oven without the rosemary on it, just with a little garlic butter and Parmesan cheese, which these don't have Parmesan on them. My kids are going to enjoy this with their spaghetti. Would you make them? They're pretty easy and they're yummy. They taste great. Try some. Let me know if you will. That looks wonderful.